What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine? Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
Yes, it does. Good morning, everybody. It's your favorite truck driver in the whole wide world, ex-truck driver in the whole wide world, Bitcoin Ben, here for the daily. What in the pluck is going on in cryptocurrencies? Now, did everyone survive last Friday? Did everyone live through it? Did you sell all your Bitcoin? Did you watch the price drop like we have seen many times before? And did you panic sell? Did you say, oh no, I am losing the numbers of the little pieces of paper. I have all of my Bitcoin, but did I lose the number of little pieces of paper that the Federal Reserve prints out of thin air? Did all of those little pieces of paper disappear on a screen? Oh no. Guys and gals, it's all a show. It's all a show for you guys. Now, we're going to jump in here because a lot of people don't realize Trump over in Israel is linked with the price of the Bitcoin dropping. The problem is the enemies of freedom, the enemies of nationalism, the globalists, they don't want peace. They don't like to have peace. Because if they have peace, then what are you going to worry about? Who are you going to look at as the problem? See, for over 100 years now, we've had elites who have always told us we're on the verge of extinction. America is in turmoil. World War I, oh my God, we have to defeat these guys. World War II, we have to defeat these guys. The Korean War, we have to defeat these guys. Vietnam, we have to defeat these guys. Oh my God. Oh, Afghanistan, Iraq, Iran, the terrorists, we have to defeat these guys. The next evil empire is just around the corner, and we have to blow shit up so we're safe. Guys, that's their economy. War is the globalists' economy. They have lived and thrived. Halliburton, Raytheon, that's their economy. That's how they make their money off of making you afraid. George W. Bush, George H.W. Bush, all of them. Their product is fear. Their wealth generating mechanism is war. They need the war to keep their economy going. That's the whole global system they have built. Did you know in the late 1800s through now, more people have actually been killed because of justifiable wars? Really? Seems kind of crazy. This is my point. They don't want peace in the Middle East. They don't want peace. They want Russia at war with NATO, because then NATO has a reason to exist. You get rid of Russia threat, why do you have NATO? They always have to have a boogeyman that they can point to and go, boogeyman bad, vote for us. Boogeyman bad, right? This is what you need to realize. They aren't mad at Trump because he's Trump. They're mad at Trump because he wants peace. That he's choking off their economic supply. See, the moment we have peace is when we can really focus on the problems of the American economy. We have, oh, yes, please like and subscribe to the channel right now, whatever platform you're watching. I appreciate it, and I promise you won't regret it. These are fundamental flaws in the old system. Everything revolves around military conflict. Oh, we want oil that's in the Middle East. World War I and part of World War II. Okay, well, let's have a war. Let's have several wars that basically break up Prussia and all, God, we had Prussia and another, what was the one? No, Eurasia is Asian. I'm actually, Prussia, or is it Prussia? Yeah. They actually broke up republics so they could separate all of these what were unified republics, because republics lead to peace. That's what republics are. And now that we are no longer republics and they all want us, Israel cannot have a relationship with Gaza, this, that, and Iran hates this and that. All of those old religious wars and all of those old religious aggravations with each other as the younger generation comes up, that's all going away because there's only extremists who are really pushing violence. And the old system would rile up the extremists to create the conflict. It's why the U.S. gave money to the Taliban. They created the Taliban. The CIA, the USA created the Taliban. And then all of a sudden went to war with it. Oh, it's why we went into Iraq. It's all of these old communistic ideas of a one world government, because in order to have a one world government, remember, they never said it was going to be a peaceful world. The one world government was created so they could control the wars. That's what the Rockefellers are. Well, a little of the Rockefellers, mostly the global banking system, the Rothschilds, those who are really originated and set up this one world infrastructure. But the thing is they never said it would be peaceful, because peace is harder to profit in than war. Because think about it. I'll use America as an example. If you're running America, you have an American economy, right? You don't want conflict with your American industry, economy. What you want is you want a war conflict so you can run your economy, but yet have the wars over there. See, early Americans, our founding fathers, knew we don't need to go over there. Ain't none of our damn business. Let them handle them. But no, because them over there, that's our competition. Well, if we blow up our competition, that sets them back. Yeah, we kill some people, but what the hell? See, Trump is a true global capitalist. Let me explain. He wants hotels. I know this is going to sound crazy. He wants hotels on the banks of the West Bank. He wants capitalism, because capitalism lifts all boats. As long as you are working in capitalism, it will lift your boat. As long as you make right choices and you participate in the network. Notice I said network. Capitalism is a global network. An economy is a global network. It is a network of exchange of many different types of value. You have knowledge value, you have economic value, you have cars, you have oil, you have information. And exchange of information and exchange of energy or energy representation, that's an economy. The Bitcoin network and the blockchain industry is the equivalent of the telegram. That's how we are going into an economic blast off like no one's ever seen before. No one's ever seen what's about to happen. AI and all right, robotics and AI is a combination of human advancements and trends and achievement with the efficiency of pure energy without the lag of aging. Let me explain. Every advancement humans have had in the past was limited to the humans aging from a baby to an adult. Approximately an 18-year lag on the next generation. Let's look at it that way. Our economy, our world, our technology always was reliant on the next generation, which we've labeled Generation Y, Generation X, Generation XYP, or whatever the hell, right? The greatest generation, the boomers, that's a generational, right? We have moved at the speed of generational advancement. AI generations are in, as of right now, every 3 weeks, they get a new generation of fully functioning intelligence. Let me say that again and elaborate. Every 3 weeks, it's the equivalent if we could have unlimited babies that were actually born as PhDs. Like you didn't have a baby, you actually gave birth to a doctorate, to a high IQ individual, and you could have as many children as you wanted because the only cost is the energy to do it. What I'm trying to explain is human advancement and technology is about to be, we're about to remove the human part, which was the lag on technology. Think about it. We had to have universities teach our children a trade or a skill or something. With AI, you don't have that. You don't have the learning lag of humans. So what we're shifting from is a lagging advancement into a hyper speed advancement where every single advancement is just running the process of analyzing the last advancement for efficiency. These AIs are going to show us and going to produce such an advancement in knowledge and productivity. And as we bring in robots, that's why I included robotics. Because now we don't have to implement it. Guys, in the next 5 years, Within the next year, you'll see robots in real life doing things. And that's going to accelerate greatly. What Trump is doing and what the rest of the world, China's kind of slacking because they're communists and that's why they have a wall. They have always actually been very homogeneous. Is that the word I'm thinking of? China is Chinese. Let's put it that way. That's how they want it. Problem is, they're dealing in a world that doesn't give a shit about your little Great Wall of China, because everything, all the information goes through it. If China don't get their mind right, they're going to wind up, and I know this sounds crazy, they're going to wind up on an economic island. Because what Trump is setting up is a world peace initiative. Why will we fight? Let's do some business. That you have two choices. You go to war or you go to work. For the last 100 years, our work was going to war. It's why America, after World War II and our war bump, we have been going downhill. The reason we're going downhill is we have applied all of a large swath of our economic energy into the government to produce war. $38 trillion in debt, that's all war money. We owe war money. All of that debt has blood on it. That's what the debt is. Because look at America, right? Our infrastructure is shit. That $38 trillion didn't go to bridges. It didn't go to roads. It didn't go to infrastructure and growing America greatness. What it went to was blowing other people up and then putting in our selected people and then saying, here's some money to rebuild your country. Why don't we apply some of our money? I don't mind. All right, let's say you own a home and it's kind of old and needs some work done to it. Would you go out and get a home equity loan to improve your neighbor's property? Boy, the neighbor's house is looking good. Yeah, you're paying for it. Why would you improve your neighbor's house? You got nothing against your neighbor. You might help him like work on I don't know, if he has like a shingle down or something, you might hold his ladder for him. But you're not going to pay for a new roof on your neighbor's house when you have holes in your roof. America's got a lot of holes in its roof. And it's starting to rain, folks. Trump is setting up the peace environment for the new economy. See, we can't implement the new economy when everyone's at war. That's why all of this is happening. That's why Russia, that's why Israel, that Trump has eliminated 8 wars. Some of them you guys may have never even heard of, but they were going on. You know what he said? It was fucking simple. Hey, you and you. No need for war. No need for war. How about we do business? You got this. We could use that. We got this. You could use that. Let's work out an economy. Trump has solved more wars than all of the presidents in the last probably 60 years combined. Why? What's his secret? Is he threatening them with nuclear weapons? Is he going, I'm going to blow y'all up if y'all don't listen to me? No. What he's saying is, let's do business. There's no reason. Guys, think about this. Do you really think that if we didn't want war all over the world, that it would keep going? Who produces the majority of the weapons? And why do they produce them? Because they wanted war. They encouraged the makings of more weapons and then giving them to other people to blow up other people. The only thing we have been trading with people is lead and bombs and bullets and tanks. And that's where we're at right now. Exact. Oh, what a great. This is at the art of the deal, the art of war. Exactly. That's your choices. The art of the deal or the art of war. Now, the art of war was written in a completely different economic setting. Agriculture was limited. They had to, a lot of them went to war for food and labor, economic reasons. America doesn't have that problem. Right? The world no longer, we have a global supply chain. Well, that global supply chain is fragile. So we need friends closer. We need friends all over the world. We need economic friends. We don't need military friends. Think about it, guys. The majority of the conflicts that we've lived through since the early 1900s, I would argue since the Civil War, the majority of those conflicts were really brought on by us. Because the Civil War, and I'm just being honest, guys, the Civil War was to create the legal constitutional structure that would lead to World War I. The Civil War launched the economic and political system necessary here in America for the reorganization of the globe, of World War I, World War II, Korea, Afghanistan, Vietnam, Iraq. This has been 100-year plan to replace economic trade with military conquering. And Everyone thought World War I would be the end of the war, but they didn't accomplish all of the rearranging of the chess pieces. So we had to have World War II. We had World War II, but we didn't get all of the little side areas that we wanted. We got all of the major countries. Oh yeah, we got Germany, we got all this. We got the major company. Now we just need to work on Korea and Vietnam and Cuba and all these little countries around here. See, the little dirty secret is there were two communist regimes in World War II. USSR and America. It was just which side was going to win. They were both communist. One of them, they called themselves communists. The others, they called themselves progressives. They're both communists. The communists over in the USSR, they went the violent route. Revolution! The progressives were like, we'll get there. We'll just slowly take over the American government. Slowly create the industrial complexes we need. Healthcare, war, military, financial. We created all of the industrial complexes. That's exactly what the communists did, except they did it with bullets. The progressives have actually done it through education and propaganda and social manipulation. This is where we're at. America is becoming America again, not communist America, America, not progressive America, but the Jeffersonian America, where we trade with people. We have private banking. We get the power out of the feds, and I mean Federal Reserve and federal government's hands. The federal government is broken through bureaucracy, and it was done on purpose. Communism doesn't work because it isn't the final agenda. See, communism was the tool used to break the world. Everyone watching, Google something called the Fabian window. It explains it all right there. Communism was a tool to collapse the world so that it would collapse into what had been created, the United Nations. And here's a little secret that not many people realize. The Bitcoin is the reason they launched AI when they did. That's why. All of a sudden, we're like, ChatGPT. What? Wait, the fuck? What the hell? They had shit like that years before that. Why'd they launch it? Why did they launch it? Why did all of this? Because they knew that it was reaching a point where there was so much currency in the system that the Bitcoin would suck it up. Now, AI is trying to suck up the remnants of the old system's value. We've talked about this. Oh, hang on one second. Word from the sponsors.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.
Yes, it does. This is the most important time in human history because there's nothing wrong with AI. There's nothing wrong with the technology of AI. The problem is who's feeding the information into the AI. OpenAI is absolutely evil. Oh, okay. Let me give you a little history lesson. Before we had OpenAI, we had the Encyclopedia Britannica. We all remember those, right? Hey, yo, would you like to buy a set of encyclopedias? The Encyclopedia Britannica. Do a little research on who created that shit. The Encyclopedia Britannica was one of the iterations of the Library of Alexandria. Is that right? Yeah. The Encyclopedia Britannica was the definitions of reality, of known reality. If you set the definitions of known reality, you set the parameters of reality. That's what OpenAI is trying to become. The global Encyclopedia Britannica, except we call it OpenAI. Remember a few years ago when they launched this horse shit and all of a sudden George Washington was black? That's an example of manipulated weights. And that's the key, because a weight is a measurement of accuracy and truth. That's what a weight in software is. How accurate is this? How meaningful is this? The more meaningful or accurate or truthful it is, a heavier weight is placed on the token. And when I say token, I'm actually talking about AI tokens, not crypto tokens. They're two different things. So OpenAI was weighting racial information more than accurate information. And that shows you how completely manipulated it was. If you typed in George Washington and it pulls up a black guy, the racial weight in that software is agendically wrong on purpose. They meant to do that. They didn't mean to do it with George Washington. That was a ooh shit. It's a little too obvious. But that's how they will manipulate you. That's how they want to manipulate the generation. They know AI is going to be the future Encyclopedia Britannica. Here's an example. Have any of you seen your son or your daughter or your grandchild walk up and go, "Hey, Dad, where's the Encyclopedia Britannica?" No, I guarantee none of our kids or our grandchildren have ever even seen an Encyclopedia Britannica unless you got one laying around. And I guarantee they don't go there to look for the answer of what is a kangaroo. This is the new, and this is the war for the Encyclopedia Britannica. This is the war for the future definitions of reality. We've been lied to so much. And for anybody who does not believe we have been lied to, why does the federal government have top secret documents we can't see? What? Top secret document? Well, yeah, you can't see those. National security, you know. All right, well, what the hell's going on? If it's the equivalent of us asking the government, "Hey, can I see your cell phone for a second? I want to check your text." And the government's like, I mean, look at Hillary Clinton. She had her people break cell phones so they couldn't look at the text or emails. They smashed them with the hammer. Yeah, they won't tell you these top secret things because it's for our safety. No. And another reason they give us is, no, you shouldn't have to worry about this. You elected us to handle the tough stuff. Let me shape that a little bit different. You don't need to worry about this because we're in control and you're not. And if you knew about this, you probably wouldn't let us do it. But we need to do it. We need to go to war in Iraq because he's got some of them boom booms. What? Well, can them boom booms reach us? No. And why the fuck are we worried about his boom booms? Well, because he might boom boom someone else. Well, let them fucking worry about getting boom boomed. The fuck we got to worry about being boom boomed. The only places that can hit us in reality is Canada. And my friends who are watching up in Canada, I apologize, but the majority of you are a bunch of limp-wristed French people. No one's afraid of the French. And Mexico and South America. They're not going to bomb us. They're not going to attack us. That'd be stupid. We're always worried about what's going on over there, over in Europe, over in the Middle East, over in Africa, over theirs. Why the hell are we so worried about what's going on over there? Because our friends, the Five Eyes, over there's, they're in the agenda with us. They're in this communistic structure with us. They're our fellow comrades. The Rothschilds, all of the global bankers, all of the warmongers, all of the people that have told us in order for us to be safe, we got to blow up boom booms over there. Really? Because it doesn't seem that. Willie, guys, think about this. Al Qaeda was a bunch of sumbitches living in caves, supposedly. Right? They're living. Oh, hang on a second. They're living in caves, but supposedly they're our biggest threat. Really? Did you mean the guy in the dress wearing the sandals? Guys, when they wanted to hit us, they had to hop on a flight, a couple of them. But if you know the history of why 9/11 happened, 9/11 happened because we were fucking with them. Our own actions led to every other war after that. And it was on purpose. It was to agitate the existing population. It's why we got rid of Prussia and that other one I can't think of. Oh, I'm sorry, Persia. Prussia and Persia. It's why we wanted to rearrange them. And if you look at the map, we overlaid over existing Persia, all of the new, all of the borders, they went right between existing historical tribal lines. We did it on purpose. It's the equivalent of up in Chicago if you took the Crips and the Bloods, and there may be new gangs out there. I was raised in the 80s and 90s, so really the Crips and the Bloods were like the gangs. It's the equivalent if you actually took a Blood neighborhood and you said, okay, half of that neighborhood where y'all live, half of that now belongs to the Crips. How well is that going to work? All right, let's move in all of the Crips. I'm sorry, Bloods, you guys got to go that way. We set up the map to institute conflict. Because it was all part of the agenda to reach now. And that's what I want to talk about for the rest of this show. We're at war. We're at the AI and money wars. We're at the war for who's going to run the information, and don't let them fool you, who will run the history system. Because the earth has a history system where, because we don't live 100 years ago, we rely on history books to tell us what happened 100 years ago. He who writes the history books writes the future. And that's the war we're in. We're in a a war for history and future economy, and we're in the war for money. What will really be the money of the future? Will it be gold or will it be Bitcoin? Well, for a while, it's going to be a combination. That's why gold's going up. That's why Bitcoin is going up. But see, unlike gold, we have an accurate blockchain. Everyone's like freaking out, like, oh my God, the price drops. Yeah, that's what happens when you're economically attacked from another system, and your system is an honest representation system. See, the gold system can be manipulated up or down. It's all paper gold. The Bitcoin system, the blockchain, you have to own the Bitcoin to manipulate the Bitcoin. With gold, you can just print up a bunch of paper and go, I'm slamming the gold's futures. You can't rehypothecate the Bitcoin and truly affect the Bitcoin price. You can use an illusion like the derivatives do, like the futures market up in Chicago, the CME, right? That's all futures. That's all paper Bitcoin. Well, that worked for a while because they used sentiment, historic sentiment to manipulate the price of Bitcoin. We're reaching a point now where the Bitcoin is becoming so adopted and so scarce that they know they can't really manipulate it that much with the paper because so much of it is locked up. There's only a little amount that actually floats in the actual trading market. There's only a float. And that trading market is what sets the price. Guys, we're going into a very turbulent time for everything, gold, for Bitcoin, for everything. Now, Trump's and others are winding down the wars. Winding down the wars. And Trump will make a deal with China. Don't worry about that. That's already in progress. But what everyone's focused on is the war for the currency. For what is the reserve currency of the world? Is it gold or is it Bitcoin? And it will be the Bitcoin. Nothing against gold. It's just, we've all heard it before. We're going to tokenize gold. Really? Because that sounds a whole lot like electronic paper gold. No, we're going to tokenize it and we're going to hold it and you can trust us. The world has proven that it cannot be trusted. America cannot be trusted. Hell, I love Trump, but I don't trust Trump with my money. I trust code. That's what you can trust, a constitution. And what is a constitution? It's a code of conduct. That's what a constitution is. But we have lived on codes of contract, or codes of conduct that relies on flawed humans. We're all flawed. We all fuck up, which means we cannot have a fully accurate system. Well, the Bitcoin code and blockchain It actually takes the conduct out of code of conduct, because it's just systematic. It's code systems. It's systematic codes. And that's where we're going. That's why don't look at the dollar value of the Bitcoin. Look at the economic value of the Bitcoin. In a world full of lies, what's the only thing worth anything? A code of truth. That's a ledger of truth. And that's where we're moving to. Don't look at the dollar value. Look at the truth value of the Bitcoin blockchain, of blockchain. Now, you can lie in a blockchain if it allows you, but that lie ain't gonna last. They never do, trust me. They never do. This is the new system. This is absolutely the new system. Everyone, just realize what we're going through now. We're going through the last revolution. We're going through the last revolution. This is the future. And it is time to recognize what we are doing with our clubs and with the hotels and the bank and all that. We're creating the new system. And it ain't just me, guys. It's a whole lot of other people. I'm just one partner in a group of partners. We're all working our ass off to replace the old system before it collapses completely. Because it will eventually collapse. We have a choice. Either it collapses quickly or it collapses slowly. It's either we migrate the old system's value into the new system, or the old system dies quickly and everyone runs to the new system. And unfortunately, not everyone has enough knowledge to know which system to run to. Everyone, have a great day. I love you guys. And please give us a call, 941-413-8080, and ask us, how can you help me get some more Bitcoin? That's our job. That's what we do. We have loans. We have home equity loans. We have we got mining. We got everything. I promise you, give us a call, 941-413-8080, and just ask, how can you help me get more Bitcoin before this shit takes off? I love you guys. Everyone have a great day. See you tomorrow.
What if I told you a truck driver cracked the code to building a crypto empire? Meet Bitcoin Ben. He went from driving 18-wheelers to creating 6 different ways for regular people to stack Bitcoin and build wealth. This isn't just another crypto course. This is a complete ecosystem where you earn while you learn. First up, the confidential bulk purchase program. Get Bitcoin at wholesale prices through group buying power. Then there's Home to HODL. Convert your home equity directly into Bitcoin instead of cash. Need funding? The Loans for Bitcoin program gets you the capital to buy more crypto. Want passive income? Private Key Capital puts your Bitcoin to work. Hungry for something different? Bitcoin Ben's tokenized beef lets you invest in real cattle backed by blockchain technology. And if you want to mine, Bitcoin Ben's mining program gets you started with the right equipment and knowledge. But here's the kicker. Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club pays you to learn. Earn 10% on direct referrals, 5% on second level, 2% on third level. This might be the only membership where you make more than you pay. Ben went from 10 years behind the wheel to becoming the world's most unlikely crypto expert. Now he's sharing everything through live training, community events, and proven systems that work. Ready to stop watching from the sidelines? Join Bitcoin Ben's Crypto Club today and start stacking sats while building your financial future. Your truck driving days are over. Your crypto empire starts now.